welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment capital of the world. Well, welcome again to our show, my dear friends out there. My co-host today, Shelley Stevens, like always. Shelley does a great job. Shelley, say hello to everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Okay, good. Well, today we're going to have a little interesting topic. It's not talked too much about, and it should be, because what's going on in this world out there, we're talking about human trafficking. There's so much of it going out there, and it's so important that we get kind of alerted to what's going on around us, because our family members, especially the young girls, there's so much going on with social media, with these chat rooms, and online texting, and all of there's a lot of stuff going out there. If you're not aware of it, especially you parents out there, you should look over your children's shoulder once in a while and see what the heck they're really doing, because it's dangerous. Shirley, you got some statistics about what's going on with the human trafficking. And first of all, to start off with, you want to remember there's a hotline. You go to humantrafficking.org. Check that out. And if you have to go in there for information, it gives you all the statistics, what's going on in every state, how many human trafficking going on in different states around the country, and something that you should be very aware of. Shirley, tell us.
So far, there have been like 3,603 victims who were identified and found, so that's a great thing.
That's through the chat room, right? Through the .org.
Absolutely, yeah. And they say that human trafficking is one of the most extensive forms of modern slavery, which is really terrible. And one of the reasons why we decided to talk about this today, too, is that I was telling Joe earlier yesterday, I went shopping, and I came out grocery shopping, and when I came out in the parking lot, and right next to my car, there was a car with two children in there, all alone in this Las Vegas heat. The windows were cracked, but still, it was like a baby in the car seat, and a bigger child in the front, and I was just so upset by it. So I told the guy that was out there moving the carts, he needed to do something, because who knows?
Yeah. I'm glad you informed security about that, because there's something that's going on out there, especially in the state this time of the year, this summer, the heat so much. But again, it has nothing to do with human trafficking, but it alerts you to keep your eyes open to your surroundings at all times. When you go to your car, you see something strange, sit there, you see something happening with somebody to a next car next to you, or in the parking lot, you see something strange, stay there a second, lock your doors. As soon as you get into your car, first thing you should do is lock your doors. Okay? Then you can turn on your car, and then you can observe anything around you, watch your surroundings. If anybody knocks out your window, what's the story? You lower your window a little bit, say, yes, what do you want? And you tell them, no. But you can see that they're asking for help. And so then lower the window maybe a little bit, get your phone, and you call 911 right away, But there's a lot of individuals who don't know what the hell to do. Sometimes they don't do anything. They just take off. But sometimes you can save somebody's life by being very attentive and listen carefully and watch your surroundings. It's so scary these days. There's so much going on,
Very scary, because I was thinking anybody could have just went in there and enticed the children. It's hot outside. Here's some water. Open the door. Let me in. I'll give it to you. They could have snatched those children right up.
Easily.
It was so scary. I got goosebumps thinking about it, and hopefully their parents came out, and got them very soon. But who knows what happened, but it was very sad.
Yeah, we hope that when you see something like that, call 911 right away for the police, whether it's somebody sitting in the car, kids, especially kids, and the windows are locked, the windows rolled up all the way in the heat. I mean, here in Las Vegas yesterday it was like 110 degrees, and you imagine inside the car where the car's not running, no air conditioning, nothing. Can you imagine the heat inside the car? So this is why you have to always be very alert and always, get ready to call 911.
Exactly. And then there was something on the news today. As you might have heard, there was a shooting at a Walmart in Henderson the other day.
Henderson, Nevada, yeah.
Yeah, and it was sad, because what happened was someone came up to approach somebody in the car in a threatening way. So the guy in the car, he shot the guy. And, he was cleared of the charges. They didn't say exactly what happened, but I was just thinking in that time, if I called the police and I was standing right there, and then those parents could have came back and said, like, why are you involved? They could have shot me too. This is how crazy the world is. So, I just always wonder, are those kids okay? So, yeah, I'm very interested.
But always, like I said, your surroundings, keep your eyes open.
Mm-hmm. And don't leave your kids in the car.
Yeah, don't leave your kids. I mean, you got to be crazy to do that. Common sense will tell you.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the car running or nothing, right?
No, it was just sitting there, and I could tell they were hot, and the baby was irritable, and the one in the front kept turning around, telling the one in the back to be quiet. It was like chaos.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, the thing is, we want to get you viewers out there to be more attentive to what's going on in this world, especially with human trafficking. There's so much going on. What are the statistics you have there?
Oh, let's see. I'm happy to say that 3,603 victims were identified last year, so that's very good. And it's one of the most extensive forms of modern slavery, human trafficking, yeah.
Yeah, so you have to, always, reach out there, talk
and
to...
use that hotline.
Now this could be happening right in your own neighborhood, right next to your next door neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
You see something strange, somebody strange coming to your neighborhood, you see something that doesn't look right, call 911 and tell them that I suspect something is happening here with some individuals.
Yeah, humantrafficking.org is the website, so make sure.
Yeah. Before any emergency right on the spot, 911 right away.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You see anything when people with guns, you hear people talking about, there's so much terrorists going on around the world, but there's some terrorists that they just caught here today, here in the United States. And there's, you got to keep your eyes open. There's so much, because of our open border, I don't care what anybody says, open border is not the way to come into this country,
That's right.
You come in here the right way, and come in the legal way, we've been letting people come to this country for years, but the legal way, But here you got people coming in, you don't know who the hell is coming into your country. You don't know, there's thousands of individuals coming in every week into the United States. Hopefully that they put a stop to it. The president took executive order last week, the week before, but people are still coming in like there's no order been put into action.
I know, it's sad, and it's been going on for so long. It's really time to put a stop to it and get people into the country legally.
And we're not talking about politics. We're talking about reality.
That's right.
This is what's happening. I don't care about politics. I don't care. All I want is for our country to be safe. We got our loved ones, our children, our grandchildren, and we got to be concerned about what's going on around us. We don't want these crazy people coming into our neighborhoods, coming in there and creating crime. They rape your children, they murder them or whatever, or get them into drugs. There's a lot of shootings, a lot of fentanyl drugs out there, and the individuals are just going crazy out there, and they're killing us one by one, especially the young ones. They offer them the candy, they take this candy, and they die. So you have to be careful that you have an awareness, maybe form a little committee in your neighborhood, a little awareness group where you guys can notify one another of what's going on. You get these strangers moving into the neighborhood. You don't know what the heck is going on. And especially with your children and your grandchildren, they're so naive because they don't know any better. But you adults, know better than that and notify the police right away, law enforcement about what's going on.
And it starts at home with the parents, too. I was watching a show this morning on the news, and they were talking about a group of college students. I forgot where it was, but it was Jewish children talking to Palestinian children. I'm not children, they were in college, but still, they were trying to make a way for everybody to see that they can get along on campus, and it wasn't about one side or the other side. It was about human beings coming together. And that really touched me because being in the cruise industry, my husband and I performed on cruise ships for 23 years, and we performed all over the world. And one thing I say to my audiences is when you come on the ship, there's no such thing as politics, race, or religion. We don't discuss them. You know, everybody's the same on a cruise ship. They come on board to be happy. We all get along with each other. And I always say, why can't the world learn to live like that? And somebody said to me, well, maybe you should run for president. I'm like, no, too much pressure. I need to be out on the ships among the people. So
those people, they don't behave, what they do? They
throw them overboard.
Throw them overboard.
Exactly. I think that's one of the reasons why we stayed out so long.
But really, we got to get our viewers out there to get a uniformity, harmony amongst ourselves, get everybody together. Forget about race, color, religion. Doesn't make any where you're from. We love, at least I do. I love everybody.
Me too. Yeah.
You know, and I want people to just get along and understand that we care for you. We all want to try to do the best we can to guide you in the right direction, because we have children, family members, and loved ones. Yes, that we care for. We want to make sure they all head in the right direction. You know?
I remember when we were younger, it really didn't matter who became president, whether they were a Republican or a Democrat. We were taught and we appreciated whoever got into office, and we respected him as such, and we didn't think about parties. You know, it's like, who's going to run this country the best, and that's what we should still believe in.
That's right. That's the way it should be. You know.
Yeah.
Be bipartisan, and yes, say, you know, hey, listen, when the whistle blows, anything goes, but let it be the right one. You know.
Oh my goodness.
But we're gonna make things happen in the right way. We're gonna just help out our individuals in the community, because especially the young kids out there and our college students, we kind of had to educate them to, stay away from gangs, drugs, and weapons. Guns. There's so much going on. There's millions of weapons out there, unregistered. So we have to try to keep control of that, because our young kids think that we a lot of bullying in school. Kids are being bullied in school, and sometimes they know parents have a gun at home. That's why you parents are responsible. You got to take action for what goes on in your children's lives. If they do something wrong, especially taking your weapon, they know where your weapon is in the drawer. That weapon should be locked in a place where only you can get to it, and not your children. Because sometimes your children are being bullied in school, and they get upset, and they take the gun with them to scare the people off, or use it against them. And then who's responsible? You are, for keeping your weapon loose and out in the open. Keep your weapons locked in the safe, where you can't get to it. Keep it unloaded, because these kids are, they believe me, they're smarter than what you think you are, but they don't have the brains that you have, the knowledge of what's going on, and they're just going to get these guys, bullies off of them, and that's one way they're going to try to do it, and then everybody's in trouble,
Exactly. Parents should definitely inform and teach their children about getting along and, what to do if they are bullied. Don't carry a gun to school. Simply come home and tell your parents, let the parents go to the teacher and have the child who's bullying the person get in trouble. That's the way it used to be. That's the way it should be. I think just about half of us were bullied in school.
Well, I was bullied a lot when I was in school, but
Me
you know
too.
what? You know what I did? My right hand, I said the right hand will get you, the left one will. And it did, because I ended up going into boxing. It got me in sports. And, it doesn't have to be boxing, but you can, to really feel like comfortable, a team around you, go to join the basketball team, the soccer team, the baseball team, hockey team, whatever they got in your school, or go to your nearest boys club, girls club, and see what kind of sports they got there for you. You go and you join them, and believe me, it'll get you on the right track. It got me on the right track. When I was 16, I was already a New York Golden Glove champion, and that got me started in my career up to where I'm doing today. I'm still involved in the game. I'm not an active referee, and I'm not a fighter anymore. Sometimes I feel like I'm a fighter, but I'm not, because I got a heart of gold. I want to help people out there. My thing is getting the people in the right track and the right direction to make sure we can get them, to become somebody special in this world. Sometimes individuals make mistakes, and we have to say to ourselves, I'm going to give that person a second chance. Everybody deserves a second chance. Just because they committed a crime doesn't mean that it's a penalty for life. It is not. It's you made a mistake and you learn from your mistake and you get better. You go on the right track. But a lot of individuals out there don't know what to do. When they make a mistake, then they think they keep on doing what they've done before. They only know one way, and it's the wrong way. But we got to do it the right way. And I think that if we all get together, get a little team of individual family members, have a meeting once in a while, get the family together. at least once a month, the family should get together, sit down and discuss different topics, see what's going on, ask one child, ask the other one, any issues you have, let's talk about it here. Maybe we can brainstorm a little bit and solve the situation before it gets out of hand. But a lot of individuals, a lot of family members don't do that. They just let the kids do what they want to do. And that's not the way to go, because they don't have the knowledge that you have. So sometimes you individuals, adults out there, don't even have the knowledge yourself. But there's different groups out there, different helplines available to help you, where to go to get help for your children or for yourself, because that's what we need today.
Absolutely.
Shirley, tell us, you brought up your daughter. We had your daughter on the show last week, and we're so proud to know that she's doing so great. That she's turned out to be a scientist.
Very proud of her. Yes,
and she's in with the medical side of it.
Yeah, she's a scientist at Merck Laboratories. Merck is the company that makes all your medicine, pretty much.
That's one of the companies, yeah.
Yeah. So she's doing very good, and she has a program called Parents for Inclusion, and it's just about what we're talking about kids getting bullied and things like that. At least they have somewhere to go and somewhere to talk about what's going on and get their children on the right path of treating others equally. And she's doing very good. She also is getting some sponsors for her show, for her group, and we think that's great. Speaking of sponsors, I spoke to our sponsor the other day.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the thing is that we have a sponsor, and his name is Robert Emmons. Robert Emmons is always ready to go forward. Pretty soon you'll be seeing Robert Emmons on the show. He'll be doing his own show here, and engineer Rick got something, a little message from Robert Emmons. We can go with it right now, and we'll see you in a minute.
I don't have anything.
Okay, so we have a little.
Just tell them about Robert.
We have a little. Robert Emmons has a solar company here in Las Vegas, and we had some little clips from him last week, and we're supposed to be showing his clips on a regular basis. So hopefully that we can get that going here, on the show, because he is a very special person who means well, and I think our engineer Rick is trying to look for. You get that clip from last week that we had.
And you have solar panels as well, right?
Oh, well, I got solar panels. Before I met a good friend, Robert Emmons, solar panels are so important sometimes because we have to keep a straight budget, But I tell you that we'll be on with the little commercial in a minute. Once we're ready, our engineer, Mr. Manny, will get it going.
Okay, well, all right.
You got it?
We are Integrity Solar America, a veteran-owned business and experts in solar energy. We'll give you honest advice and tell you if solar is right for your home. And we'll educate you on how the 30% federal tax credit really works. Integrity Solar can install your system with zero down and no out-of-pocket costs. Visit integritysolar.america.com or call us at 1-800-988-1569. 1-800-988-1569.
Okay, very good. Well, we're back again. And Shelley, let's talk a little bit about some of the entertainment we got here going in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'm very excited for a friend of mine. She's a very special friend. Most of the people that I've found here in Vegas, a couple of them I have worked with on cruise ships, and one of them is Danita Asbury. I met her on a Norwegian cruise line ship, and it was actually a Legends in Concert production. They came straight from the Strip to our ship, and that's where we met and became good friends. Anyway, she was doing a tribute to Aretha Franklin. And if you see Danita, you will swear you are looking and listening to Aretha Franklin. I mean, there have been so many impersonators of so many different musical artists, but Danita is actually the real deal. And she's having a show at the Italian American Club on Thursday, June 20th. And it's called Soulville, Respect to the Queen. Yes, so you have to check her out. If you're here in Vegas, she has a whole big band. She has background singers, and one of the background singers I happen to know personally too, because we worked together in Japan for many years. So, being able to travel around the world and meet entertainers is like one of the big aspects in my life, which I'm very happy to say. I'm very proud of doing that.
Okay, and now
so
you and
sure.
your husband, Wesley and yourself, Shelley?
Yes, we have a couple things coming up. We have the Sterling Club, which is coming up not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. So we hope that you will join us there. You can go on to sterlingclub.com, and if you want to get tickets from there, please do.
June 22nd?
That's right. And also, we have a cruise coming up. We're going to be performing on a cruise, and what I will do is film live from the cruise ship, and then maybe you can show some clips of it on the show. But I'm going to miss you for for those 2 weeks. But we're going to be doing a cruise that we haven't done ever because it's a river cruise, and it's right here in the United States, which is very good. Usually we're traveling around the world. We've been based in Asia for so many years, but now it's going to be very interesting to do a cruise ship on the Mississippi River. We start out in Memphis and we end up in Minnesota, and it's a very small ship, very exclusive line called Viking Cruise Line. So if you're not doing anything, come join us on the cruise, and it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be different.
Hey, I think if I get out there, I'll probably get seasick. I probably have my life preserver put on all the time. But anyway.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Yes, you should come.
I'd rather get in the ring and slug it out than get on a cruise, because the cruise get me seasick. But yeah, I'm sure you've seen a lot of people.
Yeah.
After a day or two, they give them something.
The doctors on board are very good with that.
The nurses.
They have medicine you can take to
they
make
say,
your
we give you
cruise
this.
most
If
enjoyable.
you can't make it, overboard, you'll be all right.
Everybody said this river cruise though is going to be a lot better than that.
It's not so rough like
not
the
so
ocean.
Rough. It's just a river, not
It's
an
a river.
ocean.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I may try that one day.
Yeah, they have beautiful suites. It's an all suite. Everybody has a suite. It's very exclusive cruise line, and it's our first time doing it. A friend of ours told us that he did it, Viking Cruises, and he loved it, and he recommended us, and now here we go.
Yeah,
so, it's going to be fun. Mm-hmm.
Well, tomorrow night here in Vegas, we have the boxing at the MGM Hotel. We have Savante Davis fighting a gentleman by the name of, last name is Martin, and it's going to be a good fight. Good. Savante Davis, one of the better fighters out there. So that's a little bit. I won't talk about boxing. My show is normally about everything. I got to talk a little bit about boxing.
Yes,
Tonight,
yes.
my good friend, ex-colleague, Kenny Bailey, getting inducted into the Southern Nevada Sports Hall of Fame. We're very proud of him. He retired last December, and now he's gone on a journey to be a Hall of Famer. So was a great referee, and we're looking forward to spending some good time with him tonight here in Las Vegas at the. It's a Southern Nevada Sports Hall of Fame. So we're looking forward to that.
That's going to be great. My husband's looking forward to that fight, too, as well. Oh, yeah. That's one of the reasons that we bonded so much is because of my husband and his love for boxing. And Joe means the world to him and to me now. So we're so happy that we got to meet you and experience so much. And I've learned quite a bit about boxing.
Well, I get individuals involved. I meet all kinds of people from all walks of life, and I try to tell them talk to them a little bit about boxing. They say, how can I get involved? Especially the younger folks. How can I get involved? I like to maybe become a judge or a referee. And there's ways to get in there. You go to your local gymnasium where they have boxing, and you ask them how to get involved, and they'll open the doors for you to tell you. They're looking for a lot of volunteer work to help out with the amateur ranks, amateur boxing, and there's all kinds of boxing clubs all over the country looking for help for judges, referees, timekeepers, inspectors, you name them. You start in the amateur level, then you work your way up to the pros. Like I did. I started the amateur levels with the Police Athletic League in New York City, in the Bronx, and then I ended up turning pro the same year. People say, Joe, how do you turn pro the same year? I said, well, the New York State Athletic Commission saw me refereeing some fights in the Golden Gloves, and they said, Joe, we want you to turn pro. I said, I just started. They said, Joe, we want you to turn pro. You have the makings of a referee. And before you know it, they gave me a license back in 1977, and I retired 2012, 35 years of refereeing. I had the best time, the greatest fights of all time. I refereed over 176 World Championship fights, traveled around the world, so it was a lot of fun. And that's why I tell you young kids out there and you parents, get your kids involved. It doesn't have to be boxing. It could be, like I said before, baseball, basketball, football, soccer, you name it, hockey, any other sport. Get them involved because that's what kept me out of trouble. If I didn't get into sports, I would end up with the gangs. I would end up doing drugs, and I didn't. So I was blessed that I got guided in towards boxing with my brother Mike, and there was a fighter by the name Gaspar Ortega, and Gaspar Ortega was a top contender back in the 50s and 60s, and he was my neighbor next door in New York. He's the one that opened the door for my brother Mike, and then they kind of enticed me to get involved with the amateur levels, and that's why I started when I was 15. I started 16. I won my first Golden Glove championship, and the rest is history. I had 43-2 as an amateur and 18-1 as a professional. So I always said the right one will get you, left one will, but I kept my guards up at all times, and it has helped me to be the person I am today. Kept my guards up at all times, kept out of gangs, troubles, drugs, and guns, and all that stuff. Stay away from all of that. I didn't need that growing up, So I think that you parents out there gotta talk to your children, talk to them about doing the right things in life. Shelley, there's a lot of individuals out there, that parents that are not giving good advice to the kids, and the kids don't know where to go. They start meeting the kids that are in the neighborhood. They go into these gangs because they're being bullied, so they join a gang. So they're not being bullied, and that's a mistake they're making. That's where you parents out there got to get more involved and see exactly like I said before. Sit down with your children. Sit down at least once a month and say, time out from all your computers, your phones and all that, and all your games. Let's time out for 1 hour. We'll take an hour, all of us sit down together as a family, and let's discuss issues that we may have and help them. You got a little problem, you're being bullied in school, well, we'll take care of that. We'll go to the school, take care of that. You talk to the other child, and maybe a little friend may be there. Get them all involved to see how we can guide them, because we all need a little help, especially the young folks out there. Shelley, you have your daughter, you brought your daughter up, and I'm sure when she was young, you got into the right direction, and she ended up going to school, going to college, you graduated, and now she's a scientist. And I take my hat off to you for guiding your daughter in the right direction. And what your daughter's doing now, she's paying it forward, helping other groups out there.
Absolutely.
So it's so important.
Yeah, so the same thing with my mother. I was raised by my mother and my grandmother. They made sure I had some activities that kept me busy after school until they got home from work. And I was attracted to singing and acting, so I joined like the Glee Club, and then I was doing the plays, and then I was in the Girl Scouts, and I had so many things, that I could do, until Mommy and Nana came home from work, and then it was like homework time, and they sat there with me, made sure my homework was correct. Parents take more interest in your kids and tell them everything is not about the phone, it is not about social media. It's about, getting your life together. It starts with the parents. That's what I always say.
That's it. I'm so proud to have my grandson, Bryce Hampton, who's now playing for the Vegas Nighthawks indoor football arena football, and he graduated from Purdue University last year. And we're so proud to be there with him for his graduation and going to some of his games. You know how great it is to go to a game and you see your grandson comes out there. There's 70,000 fans at the stadium in Indiana. Purdue University, one of the best football teams in the nation, and one of the best schools too. And to have your grandson to be one of them, to be a student and graduated from there. And I told him, Bryce, whatever happens in football, but you got that certificate. That'll carry you a long ways in life, That certificate will carry you. That's your security blanket. And a lot of individuals don't realize that education comes first, because sports is only temporarily. Sports are not forever. But I'm glad that he got into it. He's always been involved with sports, kept him out of trouble. He got enough sense to say, I want to go to school. His mother and father said, we're going to get you on the right track, get you that diploma first. Well, we were backing him 100% with football, but we were 1,000% with the certificate education in which he got, And now he's on his way now. He's going to be celebrating his 25th birthday next weekend. I believe it's June 16th. I think it's Sunday, so he'll be playing again another game this weekend. I forgot exactly where, but he's playing this weekend. Maybe, I don't know, he did play last week. They played in Nebraska and they lost. But I told him, listen, you know what? This fighters, Muhammad Ali is one of the great ones, and he's lost a couple of fights, and he came back and was still one of the great ones. A loss is one of your learning processes. You lose, but you learn from your losses. And same thing in life. If you make a mistake, okay, you learn from your mistake, you go forward. So it's not the end of the world because you lose a sport or you lose a loved one or whatever happens. You know, things happen for a reason, and then you got to go forward. You learn from those mistakes, and you learn when you lose somebody, whether it's your spouse, whether it's a child, somebody. You know, you got to keep going with your life because it's not the end of the world. God made things happen for a reason, but we got to keep going forward and keep paying it forward. Shirley, before we wrap it up, what do you have to say?
Oh, I want to say that we're going to be at Lola's this weekend, Lola's Summerlin New Orleans restaurant. It'll be our last day there because next week we have the Sterling Club, and then we have 2 weeks on the cruise. So please come and see us on Saturday night.
And then you're coming back after that cruise, you're coming back to Lola's, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, my friends, we'll see you next week. Take care. God bless. Keep your guards up at all times. And remember, I'm fair, but I'm firm, guys. Take care.